surprise to anyone if the loser should retire. The winner, however, if he wins decisively enough, can go on to another crack at the world title. There isn't too much I can tell you about Quarry and Chuvalo that you don't already know. Both have been seen on television so many times that the real boxing fans in our audience know their styles, know their ways, and their wiles. Quarry, of course, is a boxer-puncher, and Chuvalo is a brawler, a real slugger who likes to wade in. Coming into the ring now are assorted celebrities who are going to be introduced by that demon of all boxing announcers from time immemorial, our own Johnny Addy, who has always done such a capable job here at Madison Square Garden. We'll return to Madison Square Garden right after this message.
Woody.
James J. Woody, a fine heavyweight, just being introduced.
Light heavyweight Jimmy Dupre.
Here's Jimmy Dupre, a very fine light heavy.
Undefeated light heavyweight brother of Jerry, Mike Quarry.
Mike Quarry, who looks like a real kid, doesn't he?
U.S. heavyweight champion Jim Elder.
Jim Elder, probably the first time I ever saw a fighter introduced with glasses on. Jack O'Halloran, a big broth of a lad. Wait till you hear this. Dick Tiger, always popular, shakes hands with Jerry Quarry and Johnny Flores, Teddy Bentham. Goes over to the corner of George Chuvalo, says hello to Irv Ungerman.
Donato Paduano, he's undefeated.
Here's Donato Paduano, is expected to come up here. He's the undefeated fighter from Canada, the Canadian
also
champion.
The audience, ladies and gentlemen, the former welterweight, middleweight king, Emil Griffith.
Here's Paduano coming in, Donato Paduano. We're waiting for Emil Griffith.
Another former great champion, Tony Zale.
One of the all-time greats, the man of steel from Gary, Indiana, Tony Zale. Wonderful middleweight champion some years ago.
Featherweight king, Willie Pep.
Zale has not yet put in an appearance, and Pep also has been introduced. We're waiting for them to come in. Jerry Quarry has the brightest green trunks and the biggest pair of trunks I've ever seen. They go to his knees practically.
Here is Willie
That's
Pep.
Jerry Quarry dancing up and down. Here's the old featherweight champion, the will-o'-the-wisp, Willie Pep. He was great. Remember his fights with Sadler?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the heavyweight champion of the world, Joe Frazier.
Waiting for Joe Frazier, who has just been introduced, the heavyweight champion of the world. Joe has a TKO victory over both Quarry and Chuvalo to show for his wares, but both were on their feet when the bout was ended. Here comes Frazier. He is really nattily attired. A bow tie and a purple shirt. Johnny Addy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event, 10 rounds. Introducing from Toronto, Canada, he's wearing black trunks. He weighs 217 pounds, recognized as the heavyweight king of Canada, George Chuvalo. His opponent from Bellflower, California, he's wearing green trunks. He weighs 201 and a half, Jerry Quarry. The judges, Tony Castellano and Bill Recht. The timekeeper, Fred Abatello. Counting for the knockdowns, Tony Perez. And the referee for the main event, Zach Clayton. Come here, Zach.
Zach Clayton with his instructions.
Quarry, both you men have afforded the guard any number of times. Until we were briefed on rules and regulations, Commissioner's office this afternoon. But allow me to brief on two of the rules I feel most important. I'll allow you men to fight on the inside, providing both hands are free. I will not allow any holding and hitting. Number two, that in the event of a knockdown, that boxer getting knocked down must take an 8-second count. Kneeling or standing, it makes no difference. The boxer scoring that knockdown must go to the furthest neutral corner, remain there till he's told to become doomed fighting. If you come out before I order you, I'm going to chase you back. 3 knockdowns men in any given round. The fight's automatically over. Now, in the event of a knockdown, the boxer's on the floor and the bell sounds to end the round. The count will continue. And if by chance the fighter hasn't regained his feet before the count reaches 10, it's considered a knockout with the exception of the last round. Now, men, in my book, I regard you as big leaguers. I want you to conduct yourself as big leaguers. I want you to fight as big leaguers. Any questions, Chuvalo? Any questions, Quarry? Shake hands now, come on, fight in the bell. Good luck.
Zach Clayton pretty well covered the rules of scoring in New York on a rounds basis with a supplementary point system in case the rounds come out even on an official's card. The bell for round 1. 2 judges and a referee decide. Quarry is a boxer puncher. Chuvalo, as I told you, is a brawler. And it really is a contrast in styles. And George is wearing a long hairdo tonight. Quarry the conventional style. If you're watching in black and white, Quarry has the lighter trunks. Chuvalo the dark trunks with the white stripe and the white belt. Quarry is actually wearing green trunks. If you're watching this in color, Chuvalo black. Chuvalo is a brawler, as I told you. His best punch is the left hook, but he makes good use of a right hand on the inside. Quarry is a counter puncher. His best punch is a right, and he can lead with the right and then turn it into a counter punch. Chuvalo is showing something we don't normally see him use, and that is a left jab. The referee, Zach Clayton, a former great basketball player with the Harlem Globetrotters. Round 1 about half over. Quarry is counter-punching very well at this point. Chuvalo making use of that jab. Quarry apparently not expecting it. Bristling punches with a minute left to go in round 1. It has not been dull. Quarry said he was going to box more, but apparently the primitive in him comes out when he gets into an exchange, and he just bores in and gives and takes. Chuvalo always does that. Ten seconds left in round 1. .
10
Well, there isn't a disappointed fan in the whole house. You'll rarely see rounds as good as that one. We're in the corner now of George Chuvalo as his manager, Irving Ungerman. Here's that round again in slow motion. I want to give you the records again. Quarry has been in 40 fights, won 33, lost 3, drew 4, knocked out 20, was stopped once by Joe Frazier for the heavyweight title on a TKO. Chuvalo has had 72 fights. He won 55, lost 15, drew 2, knocked out 47, and was also KO'd once on a TKO by Frazier. Here's round 2. Quarry in the green or the lighter trunks. Chuvalo in the black trunks with the white border and stripe. Quarry's making good use of his quick hands now. He's getting in the 1-2 and beating Chuvalo to the punch. Chuvalo made Quarry fight there. Chuvalo gave him quite a going over for a moment. I'd have to say, after watching them over the years, that while they both pack a knockout punch, Quarry is more apt to do a knockout or a knockdown with one punch than Chuvalo, who usually wears his man down before he finishes him. Zach Clayton getting them apart. A minute to go in round 2. Good countering left hook by Chuvalo that time. There's that jab, but Quarry is not expecting it. And he jabs pretty well, too. Seconds to go in round 2. A good round for Chuvalo. Round 3 coming up. In between rounds, Teddy Bentham, the trainer of Jerry Quarry, was working on the left eye of Quarry, right below it. He may have the start of a cut there. We'll have to watch. take another look. It could be the right eye. Quarry is starting to box now. And he's throwing hard punches. The bout is scheduled for 10 rounds, and it's hard to imagine that they could keep this pace up that long. A little bit low by Chuvalo that time. Referee Zach Clayton tells him to keep them up. Well, where did George get that jab? He'd been using it all these years. He might have gone a lot farther. About a minute left in round 3. Now Quarry hit low. And he really hit low. And Chuvalo may have had his back to the referee. I don't think Zach saw it. And Quarry didn't see that left hook coming. That wobbled him. Chuvalo is up for this one. There's no question about it. 10 seconds left in round 3. We're over in Chuvalo's corner, and Teddy Bentham, the trainer, has a little medication under the right eye of Jerry Quarry. As you can see, there's Johnny Flores, the co-manager, facing him, and Frank Brazell on the outside. Incidentally, Teddy Bentham for years has been the trainer of Carlos Ortiz. The ex-lightweight champion is making a comeback now. Let's see what's happening over in the corner of George Chuvalo now. Let's take a look again. Here's the low blow. Dug in there. I guess you could see that. It was really low. Thrown by Jerry Quarry. Round 4 at Madison Square Garden. A real Pier Sixer between Jerry Quarry of Bellflower, California, 24 years old, and 32-year-old George Chuvalo of Toronto, Canada. Chuvalo, the black trunks with the white stripe. A beautiful 1-2, and again by Quarry, his best of the fight. I would have had Chuvalo slightly ahead at this point. Quarry is starting to box beautifully now. Quarry beating Chuvalo to the punch. Zach Clayton, the referee, still moving around the ring with his old-time vigor. Chuvalo may be slowing up a little bit from that bombardment. And Chuvalo brings back the jab. I'll swear I never saw him use a jab before. In fact, right now, the most effective punch of Chuvalo is the jab, with a minute to go in round 4. Well, you can hear those body blows, I'm sure. Good for Quarry. That didn't land. Ten seconds to go in round 4. Jack has a cut below one of Chuvalo's eyes. Johnny, what eye is cut? Right eye. Left? Right eye. Round 5. Chuvalo went back to his corner at the end of round 4 with a cut underneath the right eye. We'll have to watch it too. Quarry has a slight cut below his right eye, but it wasn't as bad as Chuvalo's. At least up to now. Chuvalo, a good left hook. Chuvalo is very red around that right eye. There's the blood below the right eye of Chuvalo again. And Chuvalo is warned to keep his punches up. And doesn't that Quarry look mean when he starts the attack? Get a look at that face. Quarry has taken charge. It's round 5. It's got Chuvalo in trouble. That's the first time Chuvalo has backed up tonight. Chuvalo is also cut below the right nostril. At least there's blood there. The headlock was by Chuvalo. Chuvalo's dead game, though. He's plenty full of fight. He doesn't care who he fights. A minute to go in the round as Chuvalo puts on a rally. The right eye of Chuvalo is starting to close. I'll tell you this, up to now, it's been one of the best. A great punch by Chuvalo. He never gives up. Ten seconds left in round 5. Let's take a look in the corner of a very tired George Chuvalo as Teddy McWhorter, his fine trainer, is going to apply some medication, I'm sure, to that right eye. Unless he... There's Chuvalo's face. It shows how his right eye is starting to close, and there's a welt below the left eye. This was taken in the last round. Gives you an idea of the pummeling he's taking around the face. But don't get me wrong, Chuvalo is still in this fight. He got out in front in the first couple of rounds. But right now, Quarry is coming on. He's the man to watch. Don Dunphy at ringside, round 6 at Madison Square Garden. Jerry Quarry of California, George Chuvalo of Toronto, Canada. Quarry in the green or light trunks. And Chuvalo is having difficulty seeing out of the right eye. And now Quarry starts to jab for the first time in the fight. Chuvalo coming in with that jab again. There's Chuvalo's face. Not too pretty a sight. But he's fighting back hard. And Quarry knows he's been in a fight. Quarry tried a right-hand lead for the first time tonight. There's where Chuvalo likes to get a man, against the ropes. And he's applying the pressure to Chuvalo. Round 6 of a 10-rounder. One minute left in this round. A sizzling right hand that landed flush by Chuvalo. Chuvalo has come bouncing back in this round. Ten seconds left in round 6. Doctor, how is it? Zach? What did he say, Zach?
He's pumping up and it's snitch. Just about to see it. That's the right eye.
Dr. Harry Kleiman of the commission was in to see Chuvalo between rounds and told Zach Clayton, the referee, that the eye is a slit and is starting to puff up. This is round 7 of a 10-rounder. And still, to use the old cliche, anybody's fight. A little more clinching than usual in this round. See how nimble that Zach Clayton, the referee, is? Quarry may have had the idea before this bout that he wanted to box, but Chuvalo won't let him, apparently. So he has to slug it out. That right eye of Chuvalo is practically closed. Both working head and body in this round. One minute to go in round 7 of a 10-rounder. Madison Square Garden. An uppercut, the first of the fight by Quarry. First real uppercut. How was that for a rally? Now Chuvalo seems to be hurt. He seems to be spent. And Quarry is down. Quarry taking the mandatory 8 count. 10 seconds to go in round 7. Oh, no. Oh, no! There's going to be a dispute over this. Quarry stayed down too long. There's going to be an argument over this. The referee, Zach Clayton, stopped the fight. And there's another fight in the ring. Quarry stayed down too long. He wanted to get up at the count of 10. And Zach Clayton says he stayed down too long, and Clayton says the fight is over. And the winner by a knockout is George Chuvalo. George Chuvalo. We are going to try to get up in the ring to get the winner of this bout. Quarry was not hurt. I'll tell you more in a moment. We'll be returning to Madison Square Garden and more of tonight's action in just a minute.
2 minutes, 59 seconds. I'll kill you.
Defeated. All right, Zach. Ready, don't let him go away. Don't let him go away. Oh, yeah. Chuvalo. Hey, This is Don Dunphy up in the ring with a very happy winner, George Chuvalo. George, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, John.
Tell me about that.
Well, actually, I put him a perfect left hook as he was coming, and I just caught him coming, and he's trying to
With
come
a left hook?
With a left hook on the cheekbone.
A sudden punch.
That's right, just pulled out of the blue, and it was a good punch, knocked him down. He was telling me after the fight he thought it was 9, but then again, that's what happens when you have a good punch. You think it's 9, it's really 10, and it's all over. So I was very happy about it because I was the underdog, and I feel good. I want to say, all my friends, nice
George,
days in Canada.
Just a minute now, you keep bouncing back, don't you?
Yeah, how about that?
George, how about that eye? It looks pretty bad.
Well, I don't care what the hell I'm saying. Look, I feel awful good.
Good luck to you, George.
Thank you very
I'm going to
much.
get Jerry over here.
Okay, partner.
Congratulations, Irving. Jerry apparently doesn't want to talk. He stayed down too long. Zach, I'm going to ask Zach Clayton, the referee, to come over here. Zach, there's a lot of controversy over this.
It shouldn't be.
I thought you did a superb job. Tell us what
There
happened.
shouldn't be any controversy over it because I was right, as you noticed, I was right in his ear, on top of him. And I said, 5, can you make it? 6, 7.
Here's the knockout, Zach. Let's look at this again, if you don't mind staying a second. We'll see the knockout replayed. Chuvalo's in the white trunks. There had been little indication that anybody was that badly hurt.
It was one of those things. It was like the Liston Martin fight.
Right.
He missed it. He blew it.
Well, you told him that, didn't you? I heard you tell Quarry you stayed down too long. This knockdown will be coming up in a moment.
And as I was counting, he had presence of mind. He knew what he was doing because his head seemed to clear up because he went back down on his knee. That was the mistake he made. When he went back down on his knee, he lost track of the count. Had he stayed up as he was, he could have got himself composed just as easy as he could as he went down on his knee.
Yeah, he could have taken it standing up.
Standing up. I told him, kneeling or standing, he takes the count. Makes no difference.
Yeah.
So he went back down on his knee. Evidently, he must have lost the count.
Well, the count was clear to me.
You heard the 10?
Well, yes, we were right near you.
Yeah, and I was in his ear, as you know.
We'll get it in just a moment now. The final time was 2 minutes and 59 seconds of the round. The round was almost over.
Even if the round was over, the count continued.
I know that.
There it is.
Well, I guess they'll have a rematch, Zach. It's a worthy one.
Pretty much.
Listen, can you tell me how you had the fight scored up to here?
Yes, up to that particular point, I had Quarry all the rounds except one, and one was even, one to...
About 5-1.
About a 5-1 and 1, or 4-1 and 1. Was that the 7th round?
Yes.
Well, I had a 4-1 and 1 Quarry.
I wonder how the judges had it. See, this knockdown comes at the end of the round, which is, and I thank you for your patience in staying here.
Glad to be of service. He just missed that count.
Oh, he missed it all right, no question about it. But there'll be a lot of controversy. And I'm afraid to turn around to hear why they're cheering or I'll miss it.
It's the right hand. Caught him going away, right on the point of the chin.
Now, I think Chuvalo said it was a left hook.
No, it was the right hand.
I'm going to ask you to get out of the way, Zach. You did move out of the way.
Thank you.
It was some fight, though, wasn't it, Zach?
Wonderful, terrific. Plenty of action.
And you've got it. There he goes. There he is. Now, let's see this. He bounces up, and then he goes down, and that's where he made his mistake. I can see that. Had he been standing?
Yes.
We'll see it in slow motion, Zach. Watch it in slow motion now. There he is. And that didn't seem that hard to punch as we saw it on the TV.
But it was accurate. That was it.
It was right on the point.
It was accurate. Very accurate.
Zach, I want to thank you very much.
My pleasure.
And it's always a pleasure.
My pleasure. Nice talking to you.
Well, that was Zach Clayton, the referee, and I want to thank him for his patience. We'll be returning to Madison Square Garden and more of tonight's action in just a minute.